Hey guys, Devin Gridley, All Father Fitness, and today I'm going to be talking more about macros, whether they're good, they're bad, and just an in-depth guide about how they work, what they are, and let's just get right into it. I've shit on macros a lot in the past, and it's not because that they're bad, it's just that people overuse them as a dietary tool when in reality it's not as much a tool as people want it to be really. So basically, macros are what make up your calories. So there's three different macros. There's protein, there's fat, and there's carbs. Now usually in a normal diet, just a balanced diet, your carbs make up most of your diet, fats make up a very small portion, and protein takes up a little bit more. And you can alter your diet however you want. And that's really the good of carbs that comes from carbs is that you're able to customize your diet to your own needs. So if you just have a balanced diet, you just want to be healthy. You eat a good amount of carbs, a healthy amount of fats. Make sure they're healthy fats coming from things like salmon, avocado, peanut butter, and nuts and such. And then there's protein, and you get your protein from healthy protein sources such as just lean cut meats like chicken, salmon again is a good one, lean steak, things like that. Just meat in general. And then there's also things called micros, which are things like your vitamins, like magnesium, potassium, vitamin A, like the whole alphabet. All those little things, fiber, such things like that. And these are all very important, but the fact that people have, or not have to, but they want to come and count these things, they go and count their calories. I'm a big advocate for counting calories. It's how you track whether you're going to lose weight, gain weight, or just maintain or whatever. But counting your macros is just, I think, too deep into the process of losing weight or gaining weight or whatever you want to do, right? Because you get obsessed with these numbers, these three numbers of your protein, your fat, and your carbs. And if you mess up, you're going to feel really bad about yourself mentally, as well as the fact if you get that deep in, and it's kind of like a placebo effect. If you mess up on a certain part, you're going to feel really crappy physically because you kind of placeboed yourself to realize, oh, I ate too much fat today, so maybe I feel really fat, obviously. Or maybe I ate too much carbs and I just feel really bloated. And when in reality, you're not going to feel that much of a difference if you just didn't realize how much you were taking in or not taking in, obviously. So I myself do not count macros at all. I count protein. I don't count protein, such as some people go really deep in and they weigh their food. I have no problem with weighing your food. Weighing your food's really great for trying to find specifically protein, because in meats you have to weigh lean meats, and it's just a hassle to try and figure out how much is in there by like measuring. Instead, you could just weigh it. But people weigh too much, really. They go and weigh every single thing they put together into a meal. Let's say you make, I don't know, some anabolic recipe that you find on YouTube, like peanut butter protein cookies or whatever. And most of them, they weigh every single thing. They weigh the protein, they weigh the chocolate chips, they weigh the eggs, they just weigh everything. So they can accurately, they do put it's a very accurate way to determine how many calories are in something, which is great and all, but they then throw up the macros and they're like, has this many carbs, this many proteins, this many fats, and then you try to fit that into your diet by counting it yourself. And I feel like that's just way too much of a hassle when you don't have to do that, because it doesn't matter how much carb or fat or protein you're taking in, as long as you're in within your calorie margin, whether you're cutting or bulking or whatever you want to do. The only one I don't really even count protein. I just kind of guesstimate. Like when I go and eat, for example, let's say if I didn't have French toast in the morning, I went and ate cereal. I know that in a cup of a cup of milk is around 10 grams. I believe in one cup it's 9 grams exactly, but I use obviously a little bit more than one cup. And for my cereal, it's like 5 grams per one cup, and I use more cereal than I do milk, obviously. So I just kind of round and I go, okay, I had 20 grams of protein for breakfast. My protein shakes 20. For lunch, let's say I had a cup of milk, which is another 10, and then I had some chicken or whatever, and I just kind of go, oh, okay, 20. And as long as I get within the range of what I'm supposed to be eating, which is around 140 grams, I know I'm good, because if you get 1 pound per your body weight, you're getting well over what you're supposed to actually get, because it's supposed to be I believe, 0.8 grams per pound of muscle. So if you do 1 per pound body weight, it's just a lot easier for your head, like mentally thinking about that. You're just like, oh, your weight, and then put grams, obviously. And then it's just a lot easier than doing 0.8 and trying to like do a whole math equation. It's just a lot of work, and no one really wants to do all that. So it's a lot easier for that. So if you're getting within this little margin, you're good to go. And if you're getting, as long as you're not getting a low amount, you're perfectly fine. But what I really want to talk about is the customization of your diet through macros. So if you have certain goals, let's say, because I've done track before, like I do sprinting. So if I have a track meet and I want to get ready for it, I'm going to cut a lot of weight so I can run really fast, but like water weight, not muscle weight, or just cut a good amount of weight. And then I want to carb up, obviously, so I have a lot of energy and I don't have a lot of food sitting in my stomach trying to dissolve and get like suck up and all that. Like protein is going to take a long time to digest, so is fat, but it'll give you a good energy boost. So you want to take in a little bit of fat and a lot of carbs, and it'll be really fast reacting, and you'll be able to use it and be more explosive and lightweight when you're running. So in that case, it's a lot better. But in bodybuilding, for example, you want to eat way more protein than you do something like, you want carbs so you can get a pump. You want fat because it makes you way stronger. And you want protein, obviously, to build your muscle. So you have to find a good balance between all those things. So I used to test things like, before I went to the gym, I'd have like a big scoop of peanut butter as fat, or a little bit before, obviously, because it's going to take a while to digest. And I found that I was not a lot stronger, but a good amount stronger. Like my deadlift would increase maybe a few extra pounds than the week before or something like that. And it just makes you a little bit stronger. And also having those healthy fats can do things like boost your testosterone, which is really important, and things like that. And it's just really good to customize your diet that way, whether, especially when you're cutting, and it gets more like nitty and gritty the more higher up the chain you get. But for the most part, the people that really count macros aren't people that are going pro in IFBB, or they're going to be some pro MMA fighter or some pro athlete at all. Because, for example, if you're a pro bodybuilder, this is kind of like a little pro tip. If you're getting show ready and you're getting so incredibly shredded that it's just impossible to lose any more weight, really, eat a bunch of salt, drink water, and then it'll absorb in your muscles, so it'll stop being in your skin. It'll go into your muscles. Your muscles will look bigger and fuller, while you'll look even more shredded. So a little pro tip right there. But that's a micro, not a macro. But it's just a little bit more customization. You can do certain things like that to make your diet a little bit better, and you perform better, really. But if you don't need to count your macros or your micros every single day. I think that's just way too much of a hassle, and you don't need to do that. But also, staying within the realm of being healthy, you need to know that you're getting your micros, really. Micros are even just as important as counting your macros, because you need to know if you're getting enough vitamin D, any vitamin really, magnesium, iron, potassium. If you have a deficiency in those, you'll not be performing optimally, and it can actually lead to a lot of health risks, such as my girlfriend. She actually has low vitamin D and low iron, and she's very tired all the time, really, and she's not able to perform as optimally as she could if she didn't have those deficiencies, obviously. If you had any deficiency, you'd not be performing optimally, whether it was protein, fats, or carbs. You just wouldn't be performing optimally, obviously. So having those customization of your diet is really nice, but you don't need to be doing it every day, is what I'm really trying to say, and I hope that message gets home to a lot of people. Counting your calories is really good. Knowing how much protein you are putting in your body, as long as you're hitting your like minimum mark, good to go. But you don't need to be counting your carbs and your fats and stuff until you get more specific into your goals, and you want to like break through a plateau and become better and more optimally optimized, I guess, for whatever sport you're doing. So yeah, that's really all I got for macros. I hope you guys learned a lot. I hope you realized that the more specific you get into sports, the more customization you have to do on certain things like your diet to perform better and more optimally, and hopefully break through plateaus that you have in the sport, or reaching some goal that you want. But you know the drill. Follow, subscribe. Go hit the subscribe button right now. I've made a lot of videos. I get no subscribers. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell button. do all that. Watch the other videos that'll be right here. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.